Okay. Good. How's it going? I'm just here in this lovely little opera house waiting for the show to start. Today I'm catching a performance of the. How's it going, everyone? Mike the Warhost here, and today we're taking a look at a posse that every Enlightened player worth his mechanical bits should have in their arsenal: the Discordant Symphony. The Discordant Symphony is a utility posse centered around Thomas Edeson and as much phonic weaponry as you can cram into your list. The theme posse bonus will not only reduce the cost of phonic weaponry down from 15 points each to 5 points each, but will also give units carrying the phonic weaponry the controlled scatter special rule, letting you choose the direction the target unit scatters into. A powerful tool in your arsenal to be sure, but not really one to build your entire list. The Discordant Symphony posse comes in at a meager 480 points, leaving you with plenty of room for expansion from here, or a good way to fill up the remaining points in a list featuring another posse. The signature phonic weaponry has two modes, which you'll need to declare before actually rolling any dice. The low frequency mode is a piercing -1 torrent attack that comes with both engulf and displace, as well as disorder on a critical success, making it ideal for shoving enemy units either into the line of fire for someone else, or off of a critical objective to prevent scoring. Putting disorder on a face or a boss can also prevent them from using metal until their next activation, which can be helpful when trying to knock out a specific unit, like Mina Miller and her Tesla Stormthrowers, for example. The high frequency mode is another torrent attack with a piercing of -2 and the refined rule with stun on a critical success. The stun effect is an even better way to soften up tougher units and bring them down easier, which is what this posse excels at. Looking at the rest of the posse contents, we can see just what the phonic weapons are meant to soften up enemy units for. Mina Edeson is a melee powerhouse designed to rip and tear her way through whatever is in front of her. Agile and surefoot ensures she can position herself just where needed, and moving target gives her a bit more survivability. Dance of Death gives her the edge in a charge, as it lets her focus both the charge and the free strike action for no cost. Death Dealer gives her an additional automatic hit for every normal hit she makes, which has the potential to make her Razor Points attack twice as deadly. Elusive lets her get out of combat with much less risk to better respond to a changing battlefield, and even in death keeps her husband Thomas alive a little bit longer. This does mean that she'll need to stay pretty close to Thomas to use this, as well as her frenzied attack, so keep this in mind while deploying and moving up the board. Thomas is no slouch either. He comes with Prodigious, making his focused actions that much better, and his shield aura will make him a bit tankier at the cost of an action point. He also comes with Repair and Override Automata, helping you keep your K9 gun dogs in the fight a little bit longer and firing off just a few more shots. And like every Enlightened boss, he comes with Carpathian to bring dead constructs units back to life. Thomas also comes with a beefed up version of the Phonic Blasters as well. The low frequency version has stun on a hit and disorder on a crit, as well as an ROA of 2, making it an ideal way to either whittle down a strong target or easily take out a weakened one. The high frequency version has displace on a regular hit, with brutal on a critical success, as well as an ROA of 2. This version has the potential to deal 4 piercing -2 hits, as well as to knock the target back a fair distance, though this will be decidedly rare. As I mentioned before, building a single posse list with the Discordant Symphony is not ideal for tournament play. The reason I keep saying this is because the Discordant Symphony posse only has one additional face slot, so using Carpathian effectively enough is going to be incredibly difficult. Combine that with the fact that all phonic weaponry uses templates means you'll be outranged by a good number of units. Building a Discordant Symphony list as your sole posse is doable, but you're going to struggle getting your slow Enlightened units up the board and resurrected before they can be brought to bear against more shooty posses and factions. You also get the posse bonus regardless of how many slots you fill, making this ideal for filling up the remaining points left by another posse. If you're dead set on using the Discordant Symphony posse, however, here's the most effective way to do it. Slot 1 will be filled with Mina Edison, predictably. This is one of only two slots you can take, and the other will be reserved for someone else with Carpathian. Slot 2 is our aforementioned face slot, and here we'll be putting in Francis Tumblety as well as a 10-man Angry Blob. As with most Angry Mob deployments, this unit will largely exist as a speed bump and tar pit for your opponent's more troublesome units. Slot 3 will go to a 3-man strong Phonic Blaster Mino unit for an additional source of templates and displace. Slot 4 will go to a 6-man unit of Abomination Seekers and a trio of K9 gun dogs armed with Phonic Blasters. The Seekers will be primarily a flanking and harassing unit, while the gun dogs will provide additional template fire for everyone else. Try to keep them close to Thomas to take advantage of repair and override automata for maximum effectiveness. Slot 5 is one more slot of Phonic Blaster menials, and we'll be rounding out Slot 6 with Creation 5 and a 3-man unit of Abomination Monocav. These will be your only source of long-range firepower, so keep this in mind when deploying and positioning. If possible, try to have Creation 5 close to Francis for an additional shot with Compel, as well as Resurrection with Carpathian. Throw in a cheap booby trap, and you're now at 1200 points, ready to go. The overall strategy with this list is fairly simple. Use the Phonic weak units to weaken tougher targets for the faster units, the Abomination Seekers and Monocav, to take out easily. Keep Creation 5 in the back line lobbing shots, and make sure Mina is close to Thomas to keep him alive longer. You'll have to be selective about which unit you want to bring back, since you only have 2 units with Carpathian. Well, there you have it, folks, the Discordant Symphony Posse in a nutshell. A quick and easy way to get cheap access to one of the more unique weapons in the game, and a solid method for keeping your opponent off vital objectives and in major firing lanes. Though, as I've stated before, this posse is best taken as an addition to another Enlightened posse for additional firepower, as this one will struggle with longer ranged opponents. But if you want to go with this, go right ahead. I'm not your daddy. I'm not buying your models. Well, that's going to do it for me today. Stay tuned for more tactics discussions, painting tutorials, and battle reports in the future. Take care, everyone.